Hi students, today's focus is going to be understanding that the mass of an atom is located in the nucleus. We've already talked about that, now we're going to work with it, all right? So the mass is located in the nucleus. Well, what's in the nucleus? Protons and neutrons are in the nucleus. We did that last week, but now we're going to use it. So it's really important that you guys keep up. Even if you're at home, it's really important that you keep up and you get the terms and do the vocab and stuff, because I introduce something, then we apply it, okay? And that we'll be doing that the rest of the school year. I told you we were going to be level 2 and level 3 depth of knowledge the rest of the year. So that's where we're at. Okay, so the mass of an atom is located in the nucleus. Protons and neutrons. Protons have a positive charge, neutrons have no charge, and electrons have a negative charge. With that, remember we talked about how then the nucleus has a net positive charge because it has protons in it. It also has neutrons in it, but they have no charge. So we're going to have a net charge. Do you guys know the idea of a net, like mathematical net? Like if I have 8 positives and 7 negatives, then I have a net positive 1 charge. The difference between my positives and my negatives is a 1 positive, okay? Well, what we're going to be doing for now, we're not going to talk about those charged particles for now. What we're going to talk about is just neutral atoms. And an atom, in order to be neutral, the positives must equal the negatives. So we have the same number of protons as electrons, because protons are positive, electrons are negative. So if I have 8 protons, I have 8 electrons. For now, we are doing only neutral atoms so that you can get this concept first. Then we'll tweak it and we'll talk about ions, charged particles. Okay? All right. So I'm going to throw a couple ideas on the board for you. So a neutral atom positive equals negatives. Here, I'll put a circle around this so you can kind of see this. Positive are equal to negatives. So that means protons equal electrons. So far, so good. 8 protons, 8 electrons. 7 protons, 7 electrons. 9 protons, 9 electrons. 25 protons, 25 electrons. Neutral atom has to have equal numbers. That's so easy, okay? So how do we know the number of protons in an atom? We look at the atomic number on the periodic table. So the atomic number it varies on periodic tables. Sometimes it's on the top center, sometimes it's on the top a little bit to the right, sometimes it's on the top, but it's always on the top above the chemical symbol. So, or look at the key for the periodic table you're looking at. The one that we're going to be looking at is the one in your book, and it's on the top. It's above the symbol. So the atomic number equals the number of protons in the nucleus. If it equals the number of protons, then it also equals the number of electrons. But we don't really focus on that part because the atomic number identifies the element. Every element has its unique atomic number or number of protons in the nucleus. So that's how you're going to find your number of protons, is you're going to look at the periodic table and look for the atomic number. Once you do that, then you can use the equation Once you do that, you'll know number of protons and number of electrons, because we're going to be filling out a table for each element that's on the table. Okay? Now I want to know what is the mass of that atom, and then how many neutrons it has. Because if I know the mass, and I know the atomic number of protons, then I know the neutrons, because here's your equation for mass. Is everybody ready for that? Okay, here's your equation for mass. Mass equals protons plus neutrons. Because that's what's in the nucleus. The mass is the nucleus of an atom. What's in the nucleus? Protons and neutrons. Okay? So what if I don't know how many neutrons I have? This is like one of those equations that you learned in like maybe 4th grade, that the 3 things can be all mixed around. For example, if mass is 15 and protons is 7, then neutrons must be 8, right? Because 15 equals 7 plus 8. And I can flip those all around. I can say 15 minus 7 equals 8. I can say 7 plus 8 equals 15. And I can say 15 minus 8 equals 7. So depending on what it is I know, I can use the other two. I can use the 2 I know to find the 3rd one. So it's one of those types of equations. And that's what you're going to be doing on this worksheet. Sometimes you'll know the mass. Sometimes you'll know the protons and the mass. Sometimes you'll know the protons and the neutrons. And you're going to have to refer to these equations to come up with the one that's missing. Sounds complicated, but it's not. It's like 4th grade math. I don't know, maybe they're teaching it in 3rd grade now. Who knows? That math over there. All right. So protons plus neutrons equal mass. Okay. The atomic number is how I get the number of protons. If I know the number of protons, I know the number of electrons. Those are going to be the same number. Okay. So you're going to be doing this worksheet. You're going to fill in the blanks that need filled in. You honestly, I think you don't even need your periodic table, if I remember correctly. I think you can do this without your periodic table. You can actually, based on what is already filled in, you have 2 pieces of the information. You just have to fill in what's missing. So, yeah. So you'll be fine. I don't think you need your periodic table. You just have to remember this to do it. Okay? When you have that done, it says make a drawing of hydrogen's nucleus. So hydrogen at the very first one, and I was going to do it with the kids in class, so here you go. Look at hydrogen on this worksheet. It says hydrogen, number of protons is 1. So if I know it has 1 proton, how many electrons does it have? It has 1. What is the atomic number? 1, because atomic number is equal to the number of protons. Number of protons is equal to electrons. So if you know any one of those 3, if you know the number of electrons, you know the number of protons and the atomic number. If you know the atomic number, you know the number of electrons and protons. Put your thinking caps on. You got this. All right. So back to our hydrogen. And then the mass is going to be 1 because it has no neutrons. It says that on your table. All right, so now it says to draw it and label it. So you would draw the nucleus. The nucleus, it tells you at the top, the nucleus only has 1 proton. Boom, put a proton in the nucleus. And then it has 1 electron in the electron cloud. So you would draw a ring and then put 1 electron on it. And there you have it. You would mark it that you would label it that the electron is on that outer ring, and then the nucleus is simply a proton. Boom, there's hydrogen. Hydrogen's the lightest element because it's that basic. It has one proton and one electron. So, all right, good luck. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Oh, tonight's homework is to take notes over lesson 2. Okay.